This is the Simple Beginner Rigid Heddle Towel number 2, and we are on the second part of number 2. Here's the pattern that you have printed off of Yupi, and this, of course, is a different colorway than the some of the other videos that I've done on this, but the basics are still the basics. Color A is still going to be your main color. Color B is going to be your dark color. Color C is going to be your light color. Over here is a visual. You're going to have a 1-inch fringe on this towel. 1 inch, you're going to weave plain weave or tabby with B. 3 inches of A and 3 inches of C and so forth. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to get your main information off of the Simple Beginner Rigid Heddle Towels first video. It's just the plain video. And then this is the second towel. So any yardage, you need to go back and print that pattern off. What I have done here is I've gone ahead. Well, let me get this pattern back. I've gone ahead and I have woven my 1 inch of my B color, the 3 inch of A and 3 inch of C. And so now I'm back on the 3 inch of A. All right. And I want to show you a different way to change out colors. Before we were changing out colors in the previous video here. And you're going to see this little gap here. I am in the middle of kidding season, and we've had tornadoes here, not on my property, but locally, and weather and stuff. And so where I've been running in and out, I've been inconsistent. When you beat, if you beat harder on one side than on the other side, you'll get something like this. This will be really easy to fix. When I wash this, it will draw up together and you won't even be able to see it. So if that happens to you, just know that you're not beating, if it's just a little bit like this, that you're not beating equally. So anyhow, let me get back to what I was doing. Once again, I have my yarn or my ribbon here where I have said, okay, I've done the first inch, and then I've done the second 3 inches, and the third 3 inches. I've got another 3 inches of a different color I need to do. So that's my map, my weaving map. And I'm going to pull this out because this was at a perfect place to show you. This was my last pick of my silver gray, or what you will call your number C. Remember, mine is a four ply. And so I laid my yarn out here. It's not quite to this edge, but about 3/4 of the way. And then I went from a 4 ply, I cut it here to a 2 ply. And then I went about 1 inch, and then I cut the 2 ply down into a 1 ply. So when I go through here, it's like this. And I beat it. It's gone from 4 to 2 down to 1 gradually. I'm now in the up position, or I'm still in the down position because I did not finish that pick. I've stopped right here. So I'm going to get my next color, which is going to be my main color, and which is my color C. And I'm going to get my scissors, and I left my big scissors downstairs. I'm too lazy to run down there. And I know that my 4 ply ends there. There ends my 2 ply, and there ends my 1. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this, right? And I'm going to cut 3 plies away. I'm just going to cut it away. Just like this. My scissors need to be sharpened. All right. Whoops, and I just absolutely messed that up. Let me do this again. I cut the wrong thing, cut the 3 ply. There we go. So what I have is I have this little bitty piece. And when I go through and I make, let me explain that. I'm trying to get done so I can go out and do chores. I need to slow down. I went from 4 to 1, and the reason being is when I make my first pick, which is coming because I'm still in the down position. For me, that means I'm coming from the left to the right. I want that one single ply, let me turn this way you can see. I want that one single ply to start where my 4-ply ends. I know this sounds complicated, but when you do it, it's not. And it just broke off again. Wow, I've not had that problem before. I must have a weak spot or something in this yarn. I've never had that just keep breaking off like that. We're going to try this again. This time I'm going to do 2 plies. See what happens. All right. So I'm going to remake that same exact pick. I've been doing this for I don't know how many years, and that's the first time I had it keep breaking off like that. Anyways, there goes my, from my 4-ply down to my 2-ply. I'm going to grab that little tail, and I'm going to pull that 2-ply so it's up against the 4-ply, and I'm going to beat. I will then trim that off. So we have had this very gradual, it's slope that's going from 4 to 2. Instead of down to 1, it's going it's going down gradually in the silver, but the purple's coming up and it's kind of bringing it up a little bit. I am getting thick back here again, but when I go through and make this pick, and beat it, you're not going to be able to, let me just do a couple of picks here because my loom keeps moving on me. I really wanted to get this out last week, and we just had tornadoes here, and I didn't get hit on my farm. We've had a lot of flooding, but it kept me from getting this video out, and I think I'm kind of hurrying it, so hopefully this is making sense. All right. Now we can look and see a little bit better about what I'm doing. So, the silver we thinned down, and then we added the purple that was thin, and we got thick again, and then we came back and did some weaving. When this is washed, you won't see that. And I'll trim this little piece off flat with my fabric. This is a different way to go from one color to another color and have it not be noticeable. Now, if this was all white and my warps were solid colors, this would be a lot more noticeable. So sometimes it's good in your arsenal to know 3 or 4 different ways of adding or taking away yarns, because one way may work really good for this project, but it may not work great for the next project. So that's really